Bengaluru! Bengaluru, Bengaluru, Bengaluru. RCB captures first IPL title in year number 18 as King Kohli finally gets over the hump in the presence of Chris Gale, AB de Villiers, and all these other greats of the Royal Challengers Bengaluru. Greetings, fans. Massive hit. Cricket. Samir, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Great day for King Kohli and the RCB fans. They've been waiting 18 years. Hey,
Oh my
listen, once
goodness.
again, I know they're very excited, but listen, 1 out of 18 is not a great achievement, right? It's a good achievement to win this year. But if you look at the overall record, RCB and Kohli been there for 18 years. Once again, I think, it's a good trophy, but at the same time, you can't get too overexcited.
Yeah, I mean, 18 years in the making. RCB, Samir, they've come close on many occasions. This is their fourth final, actually. And they went to the final with teams that were much more star studded. But this
Yep.
year, they had more balance. What is it this year? Do you think? Do you think it has anything to do with the players, or is it more sort of the attitude and the team now being, let's call it, where a team where the sum is greater than its individual parts?
I think that's what it is. It's combination, right? Once again, listen, with De Villiers in the past, they couldn't make it, right? Other players in the past, they couldn't make it. As you said, Chris Gale in the past couldn't make it. All those players are stars in their own right. And I think, this year it was a combination of Kohli being the senior statesman and carrying the young players along, right? That's what it was. And that's what took them to the finals. And then obviously, hey, listen, you can't discount the bowling, especially a guy like Hazelwood.
Mhm.
Hey, listen, what a fabulous bowler this guy is. Yes, he got hit in the 20th over, game was over then. He was just bowling to make sure, RCB won the title, right? That's what it was.
Absolutely. At the start of the day, Samir, RCB lost a toss. A toss I'm sure they wanted to win because any team that won the toss would definitely have
Yep.
wanted to bowl first. They would have definitely wanted to chase. Kohli, we know, is a master of chases. When they lost the toss, I said, I think it's a good toss to lose because this is a finals and runs on the board in a finals where it's high pressure, high stakes, two teams that have never won the IPL before, Samir. I think it was a good toss to lose.
Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you something. And the 15th over, when Kohli gets out and the score is 131 for 4, and Kohli scores 43 of 35, I'm actually disappointed.
Mhm.
I think Kohli played a bad innings today. Not a good innings. I think Kohli played a bad innings today.
Mhm.
Okay. You know what rescued RCB? Is that innings from Liam Livingston, Jitesh
Vijay
Sharma,
Sharma.
and Romario Shepherd. Those three guys put up 60 runs in 5 overs. That's what got them to 190. Kohli actually, in a big game today, in the IPL, has disappointed me. Okay, that was a very, very disappointing innings. 43 of 35 is unacceptable at this level in the finals, to be honest.
I put it to you, Samir, that Kohli would have played a much more attacking, much more positive innings at a much higher strike rate. But because they lost Phil Salt early,
No, not true at all. Not
who's
true at
huge,
all.
Phil Salt is usually
Kohli today was the lowest strike rate batsman for RCB. If
right, but
RCB would have ended up losing this game, it would have been because of Kohli.
right, but usually Phil Salt is the attacker, right? Kohli normally once Phil Salt is there, Kohli is gonna play comfortable, and
Hey,
then
listen,
he
today was
had
not that
Mayank.
day. Today,
Hold on,
listen, he was on the pitch for almost 70 minutes, right? He was there up to the 15th over. Today, RCB wins it, but it's not because of Kohli. Kohli can enjoy today, but Kohli disappointed today. Who really brought their game forward, in my opinion, is those three lower order batsmen and then the bowling. Krunal Pandya, I can't say enough about him. 2 for 17. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, can't say enough about him. 2 for 38. And yes, Hazelwood's figures look bad, but remember, Hazelwood won the game and then gave up 24 runs.
Samir. Again, I'm gonna say to you, while Kohli may not have played his best innings in this IPL, I still think it was an important innings in the context of the game and the fact that he lost the aggressive, the usual aggressive Phil Salt early in the piece. And then Mayank Agarwal, who was also going well, he lost Mayank Agarwal easily, Samir. If you really think about it, if you really think about it, Kohli had to make sure that his team got to a good total. Not only that, Kohli knows that it's a final. It is not a normal game. It's a final. And because it's a final, Samir, because it's a final, there will be pressure. At the end of 20 overs, they made 190, and everyone said, this score is not big enough. This score is going to be chased easily, Samir. But I said, it's a final, and in a final, runs on the board, having to score at 10 runs on over Samir, I think it was always going to be a decent score. And Kings Punjab had to bat well, bat out of their skins, Samir, to get that total.
Roger, you're missing my point completely, man. What you got to understand here is, remember, in the qualifier, he failed 12 of 12 balls. Today, 43 of 35. So in the playoff games this year, 55 runs of almost 47 balls is just not good enough. Okay. I think his teammates rescued him today, and I think that's what you should be giving credit to. I think King Kohli underwhelmed again in a playoff run. That's what it is. I think you got to give it to the ballers. The ballers defended this total. There was no business for this total to be defended today. You know who defended this total? Krunal Pandya. 4 overs, no maidens, 17 runs, 2 wickets. And he got 2 huge wickets. He got Josh Inglis, who was looking very dangerous, and he got Prabhashan Singh, who was looking once again in very good form too. And obviously, listen, at the end, Shashank Singh, scores 61 of 38, but he wasn't really 61 of 38. He was 37 of 32. And then in the last 4 deliveries of the match, when the match was won, that's when the guy scored all those runs.
190 runs to win, 191 to win for the Kings Punjab team, Samir. At the end of the power play, both teams virtually had the same score. I think 55 for 1 by RCB, and Kings Punjab were something like 53 for 1 or 2 wickets. I don't quite remember
53
exactly.
for 1. 53 for 1.
53 for 1. So almost
Yeah.
identical at that point. Even Stevens. Where do you think the game really changed and shifted in the favor of RCB?
Sharias Iyer, that was the wicket by Romario Shepherd. That was a good ball. He got him out early. Remember, Iyer's always susceptible early in his innings, just as if you realize one thing, if you look at the Indian batsman, right, the modern Indian batsman, he's always susceptible at the open, right? As soon as they walk in, the first couple of deliveries, that's where you got to get that wicket. And that's what happened. Romario Shepherd had the biggest wicket in that game. He got Shariar Iyer, and once he got him, game was over.
Romario Shepherd had the biggest wicket, but at one point when Romario Shepherd was bowling his third over, you almost felt as if is he going to give it away?
Oh yeah, because hey, listen, you look at some of these young players, playing franchise cricket. It doesn't matter if they're playing IPL, PSL, or they're playing CPL. Hey, listen, these players are ruthless. When they get a chance, they slaughter the bowling. Right? You've seen that day in day out in these games. Remember, we've had what 60, 70 IPL games over the last couple of months. We've had another 40, 50 PSL games. 120 games of franchise cricket have been played over the last 3 months, right? Hey, listen, one thing we've seen is ballers just keep getting smacked, right? That's what it is. These batsmen are fearless.
Yeah, no, for sure. And by the
And
way,
that's what you saw with Shashank Singh at the end when, he really spoiled Hazelwood's figures, right? Hazelwood had a figure of 3.2 overs, no maidens, 34 runs, and 1 wicket. And all of a sudden, the guy gives up 4-4-6-6, right? And his figures are 4 overs for 54. That's what it
yeah,
is. That's what cricket is all about these days.
yeah, what a day for the RCB franchise winning their first title, Samir. And when the final over came up, Josh Hazelwood needed to defend about 30 runs
29.
and 29 runs. And Hazelwood, Samir, got hit for a few, but we
No.
always
He
knew.
gave the first two balls were dots, and then he gave up those fours and sixes. So he'd already won the game because there was no way he was going to lose. The game with four deliveries left and 29 runs to achieve. It just wasn't possible.
Chris Gale was there, Samir. AB de Villiers was
Yes.
there. As soon as they won, Virat Kohli ran over to AB de Villiers. The joy that these two IPL stalwarts must have felt.
Hey, listen, once again, it's a great achievement. But as I said, hey, listen, it's after 18 years, so it's probably just a relief more than an achievement that eventually, you just ticked this box, right? Once again, hey, listen, look at AB de Villiers, look at, Chris Gale. They weren't able to lead this team to victory, right? But here is, a young captain in, not that young, but, young in the sense of playing cricket, right? The guy's not played a lot of international cricket. You have this guy Rajat Patidar, who's the captain of the RCB, and I think RCB took a lot of risk naming him captain, but they decided, hey, listen, they needed somebody with a level head to lead this team, and it paid off. And if you look at Rajat's record in this IPL, not that impressive once again. Hey, listen, for a captain, if you look at his scores of 26, 15, 14, 18, 11, 6, 1, 12, 23 in the last 10 games, it's not as if it's an impressive record. But you know what? He can put in his resume that he was the captain of RCB when they won this title.
I mean, Rajat Paditar, Samir, sure, he's a 32 years old. He's not a superstar. He's a good player. Risky in terms of naming him the captain. Now, Kohli has won the IPL, but he has not won as captain. Will there be some
No.
feeling
I don't think
that
so. Hey, listen, look, the team was stacked, right? You had Phil Salt opening with Kohli, and you had Mayank Agarwal, a decent batsman, and then you had Liam Livingston, Jitesh Sharma, and listen, once again, I keep on saying this: the all-rounders, Romario Shepherd, Krunal Pandya, they did very well in this IPL for the RCB.
Spear fought for the Kings Punjab team, coach Ricky Ponting, captain Shreyas Iyer. Shreyas Iyer played an outstanding innings to get to this final. I viewed him, Samir, as a danger man today. He got out early and right there, as you rightly said, Samir. The game was really gone by the time, although they still had Marcus Stoinis in the pavilion.
No,
But
the game was gone by.
Ricky Ponting, Samir, how will he feel? I mean, a good campaign for Ricky Ponting.
Hey, listen, it was a great campaign for the Punjab Super Kings, no question about it. But I think here is the problem. Okay, the problem lies with the fact that when you needed Iyer to be level-headed and take some time, I think he was super aggressive, and I think Romario Shepherd knew that. Romario Shepherd knew he was going to be aggressive, and that's why Romario Shepherd kept his line. He balled that cross seam delivery, and that's what got the edge, right? So I think once again, all the credit goes to Romario Shepherd to use his thinking cap at that point. And I'm pretty sure, you being from the Caribbean, you're very, very proud of what Romario Shepherd did today. Because I'm telling
I
you,
was also very
I,
nervous when he had the ball.
I know, but I'm telling you right now, if Iyer stays there 10 deliveries,
Yeah.
the results could have been completely different.
Mm.
And hey,
Now,
listen, once again, this is a lesson for Sharias Iyer too, right? Hey, listen, he's a big time player. Everybody agrees that this guy is going to contribute more to India and Indian cricket over the next 5 to 10 years. But at the same time, they're gonna have to do something where these guys got to understand that they're. Hey, listen, once again, the philosophy of a batsman going in and just going from ball one
mm,
doesn't work every time. You see what's happened is over the years, players like Adam Gilchrist, Virender Sehwag, and a couple of these other big legends of the game, they've basically produced some unbelievable performances from ball one, right? And
mm.
it's just not possible every time, especially in a final. If Iyer would have taken a couple of deliveries to relax, I think he would have understood what we were talking about, but he just didn't.
Krunal Pandya has long lived in the shadow of his younger brother. This more established family member. Hardik Pandya, and he made a name for himself today. I mean, obviously he's been around for a while. He's been a decent player, but he really stood up for his team today, Samir.
Hey, listen, he's been balling well all season long, not just today. This whole IPL. If there was a spinner who was as economical as this guy, find me one. I think this guy was one of the best spinners of the IPL. He might not have taken the most wickets, but I remember that game against Sunrisers Hyderabad, which the RCB lost. Sunrisers scored 231. I think it was like a week and a half ago or something, right? And guess what? 231 was a very good total. This guy, again, 4 overs for 38 runs. Once again, extremely economical during the whole tournament. And I think that's what helped RCB move forward, because every game that I was looking at, and I used to look at the scores at the end, this guy has 4 overs for 29, 4 overs for 10 runs, 4 overs for 25, 4 overs for 31. Remember, this was a high scoring the PSL, right? When you're giving up 20, 30 runs in 4 overs every game, I think you're doing something right. And today in the finals, 4 overs, two wickets for 17, that's an unbelievable performance.
Unbelievable, unbelievable, Samir. Just RCB fans. I'm so happy for the RCB fans. I mean, they support their team every year.
Yeah.
That's one of the best fan bases in India in the
And I,
IPL.
and I wasn't surprised that Krunal Pandya was named MVP of the finals, right? Obviously, there was a reason for it.
Hmm.
But then, what was very surprising for me, and once again, you are going to be very happy about it. The player of the tournament was Sky.
Yeah,
I am shocked that Sky was named. Because even though Sky had some good performances this tournament, hey, listen, once again, I didn't think he was supposed to be named player of the tournament, but that's what it was. He went under the radar, even though he had a lot of good scores.
Um. Well, how many runs did Sky
I think
score?
he scored a lot. I think he scored like 700 runs.
Can we pull that up, Samir? Um.
Let me look at it. But that's what I think, he scored a lot of runs this IPL. And once again, the reason I'm saying that is, listen, I didn't realize that this guy scored these many runs in the tournament.
Yeah.
Remember, it was a long, long, long tournament. Yep. He had 717 runs. The only guy who had more runs was Sai Sudarshan, who had 759.
Yeah.
And
Outstanding.
Kohli ended it
Outstanding.
with 657 runs too. But once again, the reason why I'm disappointed with Kohli is because he had such a good IPL that I expected a lot more from him in the in the qualifier and the finals.
Hmm.
But remember, his strike rate was 144 for the tournament. So he obviously underwhelmed in the main games.
Right. Well, Samir, Bengaluru. Bengaluru!
Hey,
Champion.
listen, my
Champion.
predictions for today were 100% again, man. I think I did very well again on cricket.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I certainly got the RCB
Yep.
right. But
I, I,
let's
I
now
once RCB was in the playoffs. I remember I told you that RCB was one of the best teams, the most balanced teams that could achieve it. And hey, listen, once again, it's not just balanced teams or the best teams that win. It's the teams that lift their performance at the right time that wins these tournaments.
Mhm. All right. Well, fans, that's it. Bengaluru winning the IPL 2025.